This week we're about to tackle one of the most intimidating parts of the entire van build, the electrical system.
Sarah is right now reading cover to cover the instructions, manuals of this entire system.
But even before we could start wiring, we ran into a familiar problem. Mistakes, and not just once.
We are redoing for the third time the electrical box.
Still, there were some wins. We finally finished the floor and solved the insulation nightmare.
3M78 foam insulation adhesive.
And maybe, just maybe, we could finally bring electricity to the van.
And let's see if finally can we turn the lights on. Hopefully it doesn't turn off.
If we don't figure this out, our trip could be over before it even begins. Let's get to work.
So today we're going to start working on our top layer of the floor. We have decided eventually to go and start from the entrance of the van, since actually this is going to be the first spot you look at when you open the van. So it makes sense that it will be the most beautiful and the best layout of the floor will be in the entrance. The first thing we did is to cut a template of the curvatures of the entrance of the floor right here. We believe it's going to take time to do all the floor, but that's how it is, and it looks pretty good. So the first piece is in the van, and we can move to the next one.
We kept working on the vinyl flooring. The straight pieces were the easiest part. Just lock them in with the tongue and groove and some hammer banging, and they snapped right in place. But as you saw, the van isn't all straight lines. So here's the method we use to cut the curved edges and fit the flooring perfectly to the shape of the van.
I'm using this 90 degrees ruler, a piece of cardboard and a pencil to try and figure out what is the shapes I need to cut from the edges of a lot of floor pieces. So what I do is I'm looking for the farthest that I'm getting from the cardboard and measuring it. Alright, it looks something like it, doesn't really matter. Okay, now I'm continuing looking at this point. Once it goes farther from the wall of the van, I'm starting to mark dots. Alright, so I think this is first dot, second, and so on. Okay, and now I have a bunch of dots that I will connect with a line, like the exercises when you were in kindergarten. And afterwards, I will cut the shape that was made here and try to fit it and see if it fits. Alright, that's how it looks like. Now let's try it on. Okay, so I've more or less fixed it, but as you can see, I have one more small issue. That here I cut too much, right in this spot. I can just take the piece I cut and fill the gap. Here we have the exact curvature of the wall on cardboard, and I can go and put it on a piece of floor and trace it to cut the exact shape that we need. And it fits. And that's how we did all of it. Alright? Just once. Wanted to show you, not to waste too much time. We are done with the top layer and final layer of the floor, but we still have one thing to do to make it just right. So we have the sandwich of insulation, plywood and top flooring, and it's not beautiful. So we're gonna fix it. What we're going to use are two things. Come, she's standing aside like she's not part of this project. Please present the piece. by chance we have the exact piece we need to trim it, we will put it like so. But then you're saying, oh my god, it's still not beautiful. We have a solution for that. That's just to cover this side. And on top of it, we're going to put one of these pieces. And it's going to be just beautiful. We have two of those, because we're going to need to do the same for the back as well. Let's do it. We put some wood glue and some marine Loctite, as always, to be extra secure. And we can start putting some nails. We want to put the nails between the plywood sheets. And just like that, we have a beautiful entrance. Good morning, everyone. So today is an amazing sunny day, pretty hot. We prefer to be in the shadows. And well, we're tackling one of the most scary parts of the build, the electrical part. But we planned it pretty well, so we're pretty going forward with that. We received all of the parts of our electrical system, the actual EcoFlow system, and all the switches, outlets, wires, etc. Sarah is now in charge of continuing and finishing the wiring, because we have a few wires to put around the van. I've started to build the electrical box around the driver's side wheel well. And well, wish us luck. This is an amazing start for this week. Let's go for it. So we're done cutting all the plywood pieces needed for the electrical box. We cut two pieces that look just like this one. They will connect to the frame of the van using pocket holes, 5 each, so it should be pretty strong. Before we put it all together, we should plan how the computer and the distribution box should be connected to the box, and maybe pre-drill some holes, especially for the distribution box. So we laid everything on the front side of the electrical box, and it actually looks pretty good. We can keep the 4 inches and every single parameter needed for the computer side of the system. So we are pretty happy about it. So we are not happy with the color. It looks too old, not the vibe we wanted inside the van. So we will color it in a different way. Well, sometimes you have to do again and again, just for it to be right. After this paint was not the look we were looking for, we went to a local store, because Home Depot is at least 40 minutes from here. And without looking forward into the video, which of those would you choose? Come on, go and type down in the comment section. The bottom one, the middle one, or the top one. Anyway, we chose one of them, and here we are. Looks pretty good. You now have a sneak peek of one of the colors that are going to be the main colors of our interior in the van. So we are finishing up our electrical box. We forgot to do some wiring holes right here and there. So after doing it, we are repainting these areas. And well, we also bought Chasey a very long leash, so she can be with us here while building the van. She's now playing with a stick she found, and she is the cutest dog on earth. But I'm biased, you know. Alright, so we finally connected it to the van. It is connected in each side with 5 Craig pocket hole screws, so we believe it's pretty strong. Now I already put the bracket, install the brackets of the EcoFlow. If you want more information, there are wonderful places that explain it on YouTube. And now, for the first time, let's put it. Wonderful! Amazing. I'm not kidding. Can't believe we're here. Now I have to put a few more screws just to make it permanent. I will move into the battery connection. We are redoing for the third time the electrical box. And that's why. Well, in the beginning we made a box without thinking. We just wanted to cover the wheel well. And later on, when we understood that we have to mount every electrical part to the wall, we built this one, which is pretty good actually. But and nice, yes. And we also painted it and finished it and mounted it, and it was like we are on our way for a successful day. But after all, we understood that we have a problem. We're still going to mount our water here, and our sink is going to be near the entrance there. So water will have to pass with this layout above or below the batteries, which we want to be sure that we are totally safe and that nothing can happen, and we will do our best to do that. And part of it is making distance between water and electricity. So we have decided to build another box to solve the problem. We have decided to put the batteries to the front, although it's going to take a little bit more space from the storage area. It is the safest way to go. So Sarah is right now finishing to dismount this the second one, electrical box, and I'm right now cutting all the pieces needed to build a new one.
Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.
I'm hot. It's just kept. So we're connecting now the third version of our electrical box. And well, the last version, we haven't talked about it, so let's talk about it. The last version is a little bit bigger because we planned the batteries to be like behind this part with the second version. But then remember, we are going to need a way for our water pipes to go, which will go behind the bed. So we decided to put the batteries in front of here. We are going to mount them to this wall, like stack them one on top of each other. The cables will go behind them because there is a space for that. Into here. They will go out here with a bunch of other cables for the computer of EcoFlow's electrical kit, and our distribution panel will be set longwise vertically right here. So we will have all of our breakers here and fuses here. That's the last version. Don't make a mistake, make it like this from the first place if you're about to build a van. We've spent a jar of paint and a full sheet of plywood for it, and a little bit more actually, because the first version is from another sheet of plywood. So learn from our mistakes. Good morning, everyone. So today we are continuing with the installation of our EcoFlow Power Kit. And well, although it is much easier than all of the systems that you have to buy everything separately and connect and calculate and put together the entire system, it is not such a plug and play because there are a lot of small things you still have to do. For example, I'm right now creating a cable that I have extracted out of a 12 gauge duplex one that we bought to create a cable for the ground of the system. Sarah is right now reading cover to cover the instructions, manuals of this entire system, and she's throwing at me like, oh, we also need to do this, we also need to do that, and well, That's what we are doing step by step to make it just perfect and as safe as possible for us. So we have connected the solar powers from the outside just to test it, because we are eager to know, are we able to make electricity from the sun? And the answer is
Yes!
show them. There is a cloud, so we're making 60 watts from 2 solar panels out of 3, because the third one is not installed yet. We're supposed to get today the missing part from Unaka to install the third one, and we are super happy about it. We are finally, for the first time in our lives, making free electricity from the sun. How amazing is that? Totally crazy.
What can I do with this 60?
60 watts? Endless possibilities around the 60 watts.
It will take 7 days to recharge.
Finally, we can see a little bit of progress in this electrical system build, because it's not easy as they tell you. Let me tell you about it. Not easy at all. Yeah, so in 2 days we will get the flange and we will have everything wired from the roof to the system. In the meantime, we will continue with our wiring of the distribution panel to everything in the van. We will start hanging lights, switches, outlets, you name it. That's it. That's everything I have to tell you about it.
Next up was the shore power inlet. First, we had to figure out the perfect spot for it, and that meant cutting yet another hole in the van. Always a little nerve-wracking, but once the hole was in, the installation actually went pretty smoothly.
Now we need to connect these 3 to the Furrion inlet. Let's close it like so, and it does its job. It's really hard pulled the wire. All right. Now we have 3 wires from our system, from our EcoFlow system. They are in 3 colors, white, green and black. The white is a neutral. The green is a protective earth. And the red is the face, actually.
The black.
Yeah, the black is the face. And we need to connect them to exactly the 3 connectors. We have a 4th one that is marked in red, and from what I read, it is for a 240 volt system. We are in North America. We're using 120 volt systems, so we have only 3 lines. All right.
Davide?
We forgot something. Let's disassemble everything. We always enjoy a good disassembling, you know? Sarah and I, we have an hobby. We like to assemble things and do things and then redo them. It's always fun to wake up in the morning knowing you have to redo something you did yesterday. Yeah. I know people will ask themselves, oh, I haven't thought about redoing things again and again. And well, I'm happy we can help with that. It's a great idea if you want like a couple night activity. Just find something that is working totally fine in your home and disassemble it. Sarah behind the camera is laughing because, well, sometimes I can talk very stupid things, doing things, other stuff. And now we have put the screws inside. Let's do it. It happened that we bought an electrician screwdriver. Never had one. But it's really looked like the most practical thing to do, because it has 4 sides of heads that you will probably need while doing stuff. And well, just like that, we supposedly have shore power inlet. Can you see it's hot today? Well, yesterday it was worse. Getting colder a little bit, and in the weekend we're supposed to get a little bit of rain, which is not good for the van builders, but it is a good time to test our windows. Alright.
Boom!
Yeah. Super sturdy, super sleek, super duper. You are doing sound effects. And now the real question is, how the hell did we get to the driver's side with the inlet, which is more common? And well, we tried to find a way from the beams, but the cable that came with the electrical system from EcoFlow wasn't long enough. So eventually we find out that we can route the cable from here. It will go from here, of course, later, but it runs over here, down here, this hole, runs down this floor, then going back into the beam, and from the beam into this plastic, which the Furrion is connected to the other side. And let me show you how it looks under the van. Now you can see the cable is just hanging there. It actually has 2 spots where it is holding this, and there is another one on the other end. And now I will tie everything with zip ties, so it will not hang anymore. It will be strong and steady. Now you cannot see it anymore. It is pretty sleek, hiding right along all the way to the other side. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To the other side. And just like that, you have a shore power line. Whew. Extremely hot today. Sup? Look what FedEx brought us. Wanna say what's that? That means we are legally 100% for as long as we want driving around the US. Our Montana plates, we are cowboys now. The rain started, but we're in. We are now trying to, well, Sarah is right now with her smaller hands than mine, is able to pass through the line for the alternator kit, so it can charge our system while we drive. Since the cable that came with the kit is not long enough to go through the walls to the alternator, we've decided that it will go behind the bed wall. So right here is going to be a wall for the bed, and this is where the cable is going to be. Once we have this wall up, we're of course going to put the cable more securely on it. We've decided to disassemble the van because we have some free time. And later on we will put it together again. So we're starting with this stair of the driver's side. Alright, so you need to, if you're wondering, really, if you have a Promaster and you are planning to wire things through here. You need to unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws from 5 different types, right? Be ready for that. Pretty weird, but that's what the Ram Promaster engineers decided to. Alright, so we had to disassemble this as well. Those are another 4 bolts from both sides, just to pass this cable side to side, so we would see as little as possible from it. Here we are inside the car. Sorry for the angle, that's what we have here. So I'm here with the battery. One side is the positive, the other the negative or the ground, which is connected to the car's chassis. Now these two I need to cut a little bit because the space between the positive and negative is pretty big, and I need a little bit more wire. So let's do that. Looks good. Yeah, actually we had to pull the wire pretty tight around the van. I don't think it will cause any problems, but we don't need to extend those, so that's a happy ending for it. And now I just need to put it on one of the bolts. So I just wired this, connected it, turn on the vehicle. And Sarah, what do you say back there?
Wow, it's almost 1,000 watts.
Almost what? 1,000 watts? Let's see. Oh my
Nice.
god, that's crazy. Almost 1,000 watts from the alternator. Right now we've disconnected the solar because, as we told you, it's not connected yet through the roof. It was connected through the window and there was rain, so we disconnected it. But the alternator is pushing a lot of power into the system. Oh yeah. So we have successfully tested our solar panels and permanently connected the alternator to our system and the shore power to our system. So we can say it was a successful day.
Yep.
Now it is time for the pack lights. I had this idea. I wanted to surprise Sarah and catch her honest reaction the first time we lit up the van, but she figured out what I was up to, and to make things worse, when we flipped the switch, the lights didn't even work. So together we tried to figure it out. I even went back and double checked all the wiring to the lights, but no luck. The problem was still there.
It is powering up. Alright, you can see that we have the batteries connected. Now let's go to the DC. I will turn it on. You can see that the voltage is 13 volts. Is being sent to here, so we have a LED. Let's turn on channel number 2. Hopefully it doesn't turn off. Well, it is not a successful moment. It is. Eventually we have to know that we've done enough today and we have completed as many tasks that we had, so it must be in total, in average, a successful day. I don't believe we're going to have any other developments for now, so see you tomorrow. Alright, so there is a development. So the old distribution panel that we were supposed to get has 12 outputs for DC, and the new one have 16. In the panel, this one of our power hub, which is Gen 1 and supports the old, we see only the old 12 circuits, and in the app we can see the 16. So maybe it is also controllable only via the app, which is upsetting, but what can we do? Let's try to turn it on. Okay, it is staying on. It is staying on. Do you want to have the pleasure to try? Oh my god! Thank you! Our front lights, they work. Yes! 100% of the tasks, guy. It is a totally successful day. I can't believe we have light! Sorry for the language, boss, but we have light!
Cannot stay there.
It's okay, I will boop the boop.
Wow! Wait.
Right. Okay. Yay! And it's dimmable! Alright. And now we can say
Good night.
good night. See you tomorrow.
Good morning.
Good morning! Yeah! Party all night! No.
No. Sleeping all night so we can walk all day.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the last few days, as you might know, we haven't shared every detail about it, but we have finally finished with everything we had to do up to this point of the electrical system. We have set up our huge electrical system, all of the fuses, all the breakers, every wiring through the walls, all the outlets, inlets, everything, buttons, switches that we had for the moment. Even we put a light in the garage. Pretty amazing, huh? It's not on right now, but it works, believe me. We had a spare light from the scene lights we are planning to put outside. Another thing we did yesterday is finally completing our ceiling insulation. As you remember from a previous episode, we have been using this 3M 90 max strength adhesive to put all of the insulation in our van. But when we try to use it on our ceilings, since we did a double layer insulation of rigid foam and then put this thin insulate on it, the rigid foam kind of dissolves when you use the max strength 90 3M adhesive. So after a short research of Sarah, she found out there is a specific adhesive to use when you are trying to stick something to a foam board. And this is this one. 3M78 foam insulation adhesive. And it is pretty hard to find. We couldn't find it in our local hardware store or in Home Depot. Someone is calling. Anyway, we are finally moving forward to our next big
Project.
that is
The walls.
the walls. So we are going to cover these black walls with something prettier, and also these doors with something prettier. Some of them we're going to paint, some of them we're going to do upholstery, which we have already tried a little bit here and there in the van, and we're super excited about it because it means that things are coming up together
Yep.
and starting to look a little bit more cozy and a little bit like home. So subscribe to keep up with our build, and we'll see you on Friday.